So I always wanted to do something which had a social angle, and doing good for others was the primary thing which I've always looked like yehi karna hai life mein.
Today we have Saurabh Bothra, who built India's largest online yoga community called Habuild. What started as an intention to get Saurabh's mother into doing yoga has transformed into a community of 3 lakh people doing yoga every single day. In this episode, we dive deep into 3 core insights into how Saurabh built his yoga empire that has touched the lives of 60 lakh plus people since its inception.
I would want to maybe start off first of all with knowing a little bit about you and getting to the hang of who Saurabh is.
I definitely come from a background of people who are workaholics. This is kind of the family that I've been grown up. We come from a village which is like Amravati ke aage Dhanaj, and then my father moved when I was 4, and he wanted me to study in a city, so we came to Nagpur, and he started his industry into brick making machine and a lot of stuff. He's into business, like pure capitalist. My grandfather was on the other hand pure socialist. He was in Nagpur. He did his MBBS in 1955, and he went from Nagpur to the village to serve people. He was the sarpanch. He got the roads, he got the hospital, he got everything in the village for the people. So that's his background. Then, of course, I'm influenced by both. So I always wanted to do something which had a social angle, and doing good for others was the primary thing which I've always looked like यही करना है लाइफ में. बट उसमें अगर साथ में थोड़े सस्टेनेबल हो और सब अच्छे से चले और ज्यादा लोगों तक रीच आउट करे, तो दैट कम्स फ्रॉम माय फादर, लाइक वर्क हार्ड. एंड देन आई वेंट टू IIT. So I got exposure to yoga because the city also had a vibe of yoga. And then the only way I thought I could become consistent was by teaching it to others. So I started teaching it to my juniors, and I really enjoyed it. After my college, I went back home. There was definitely an opportunity. I never wanted to take a job for sure. And my father was like, "Ab kaam pe lag jao." And I never wanted to do that directly out of the college because it means 14 hours of work, which you might not want to do in your early days of learning more. So I thought I'll just go and teach yoga to more engineering students, and that was the primary motivation. I taught yoga across the country for 6 years traveling. Then COVID happened. I started teaching online. It was never the idea that we will make it grow big or इतने ही लोगों को करना है, ऐसा कुछ बहुत करना है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. In my first session when I started teaching online, there were 3 people. So we just kept doing it, and it just kept growing.
I would like to understand what Habuild really does. Walk me through it. What does the product, what does the community look like? What are the components inside?
So I was always teaching engineering students because I am a graduate from IIT. It makes more sense that if an IITian is saying something, I should follow it because it's tried, tested kind of thing. Then I realized that engineering students are not someone who need it. They might want it. They might feel like, yeah, ye karne se acha to hoga, but they don't need it. What happened one day, my mom came to me and like, मेरे घुटने में दुख रहा है, कुछ 4 आसन बता दे. I was like, this is exactly what you should not be doing. You need to strengthen your knee that it does not happen in future and it does not get solved by 4 asanas. So I told her that join my sessions and then only I'll teach you. And it was COVID. She could not go to a physio outside. So she had to follow what I was saying. And then I was teaching the regular way, the normal yoga format that I used to take. And she started telling me that ये तो मुझे आ ही नहीं रहा है, ये तो मुझे समझा ही नहीं, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं hamstring क्या होता है, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं कि quads क्या होते हैं. These are the terms they are not aware of, which are very normal for a yoga instructor to say because that's the thing. Then I realized that I would definitely want my mom to do yoga than 3 engineering students or 4 engineering students, right? So I started changing my sessions in a way that suited her better. And I realized that, moms are the one who really need it. They don't want it, they need it. They might not feel that they want it or they need it, but they are actually someone who will work, and they have this notion called हम तो घर का काम कर लेते हैं, हमारा सब उसमें हो जाता है. So she started joining and she started giving me a lot of feedback, and suddenly we got a program which actually resonated with women and mothers more.
Habuild built a community of 60 lakh people, but it was not an easy task. Very similar to how growing your business and careers is not really easy. But here's the thing, the only way to make it happen is by understanding how your work can drive more and more revenue impact. This is exactly why we created the GrowthX Immersion program, where our members learn the A to Z of growth in just 4 weeks. You go from getting the right people to buy from you, so solving for customer acquisition, to learning how to onboard and activate them. Then the job is to convert casual users into power users of your brand. And finally, you learn how to monetize them. And mind you, you do this not alone, not in silos, but along with the best peers in the ecosystem through the 4 weeks. The link to apply for the GrowthX Immersion program is in the description. And I'll see you on the inside.
So I just tried to make it more simple every single day.
What happened when you made it simple?
More people started joining.
Okay, what kind of people? How did that change from a student profile to what next profile?
I'll give a lot of credit to women here because, and typically a mom. Like if a mom is doing something, she will definitely talk to her bhabhi, derani, jethani, and in the WhatsApp group, in the family group. And this is something which she is proud of. So they started talking to each other about it. You know, I'm doing yoga with so and so person. And then initially we did not understand the Indian market, right? तो पहले ऐसा था कि 5-6 महीने फ्री में सिखाता था, फिर हमने पेड सेशन शुरू किया. And the reason why we started the paid session was simply because once you pay, you're more sincere to do it. That's the whole reason. And we were very economical, like where normal yoga instructors would be charging 1,000 to 1,500 for 3 sessions a week. I would charge 500 rupees a month for the entire month and all days. वो होता चला गया, फिर ज्यादा लोग बात करने लगे उसके बारे में, तो हमारा जो फ्री वाला था वो पेड में कन्वर्ट हो गया. फिर मुझे नहीं पता था कि इंडिया इज अ ट्रस्ट डेफिसिट मार्केट. सडनली इन सेकेंड वेव ऑफ कोविड आई अगेन मेड इट फ्री. Suddenly what happened, we were at 120 people in March 2021. It became 200 the next month. Then I realized, acha, what does this mean, a trust deficit market? So you have to make them understand what you're doing because they will not pay directly, and then you have to help them figure out what you exactly want them to do, what you exactly will be doing. Then we started doing free sessions more often, and then things started happening. And we still keep talking to users. We figure out what are the best ways to make it more simple. We took a survey. We realized that people have only 2% of our audience actually knows what's a fitness app. They use WhatsApp, they use YouTube, they use Facebook. That's it. They have no other application in their phone which they actually use. They have started using Instagram recently. So we realized that we don't need an application at all. We, at this scale also where we are today, we still don't have an application, and we still take a lot of feedback. People keep complaining for things that don't go well, and we make sure that if it's in our hands, we will ensure that it is taken care of.
How does the user journey work from the time, let's say, somebody gets a referral to them actually starting using the product?
First, you get a referral from someone, then you join the free session. Then if you're interested, if you like the concept, like the idea, you join for a regular session, and then you continue.
Got it. And once they pay, what happens?
From an access level, it's the same in terms of yoga, but they start getting other sessions. Like we have a dance and stretch session. We have strengthening sessions. We have Surya Namaskar session. We have a juice fast. We have mindful journaling. We have hand mudra session. We have more topics which can get them to, become better in terms of habits or in terms of health. So we have one habit challenges. Every month there is one habit that we pick up. Her weekend there is a add-on that you will not get otherwise.
So Saurabh, we spoke about the content engine. If you can segregate which channels drive what and how content actually drives action on the product.
लगभग 80% YouTube से आता है, 15% Instagram and 5% lot of other mechanisms. And primarily हम content को ऐसे देखते हैं कि मान लो जो आपको सिखाने वाले हैं टीचर, right? And if they are explaining something in a very simple way, suppose a new user who has not tried our free challenge comes on YouTube, figures out that अरे बहुत ही simple तरीके से समझाया हुआ है. Once they know that this teacher simplifies stuff for us, it's very easy for them to trust कि अच्छे योगा भी अच्छा सिखाते होंगे. और फिर बट जब वो फ्री 21 डे में आता है तो उनको एक कंप्लीट आइडिया मिलता है कि what we are actually trying to do. और हमारे हर वीडियो में हम थोड़ा सा CTA तो डालते ही है कि if you want something similar to this, or if you are interested in trying our free sessions, do click on the link, and the link is already in the description. So the trust part and the discoverability part is solved from the content. And that 21-day experience that we have, it actually makes it very, very clear that, yeah, this is what I want in life.
Saurabh, I had a very interesting thought, right? Like, you are the face of the brand. How does this brand scale beyond you and becomes a larger movement? And what are some of the things that you're thinking right now? Maybe in the short term, maybe in the long term, and how does that pan out?
There are multiple things that we have in pipeline, and there are n number of things that you can do. The market is so big and the problems are so large that कुछ भी करोगे तो आप उसमें अच्छे से कर सकते हो. Execution थोड़ा अच्छा होना चाहिए, and hard working, of course, does not have an option. But when I think Habuild as a community, I would want more community members to come up, probably start teaching yoga and have local groups where, it genuinely feels like a community. That means we have to empower more women to start becoming yoga instructors, help them with technology. Second, another aspect of Habuild is going a little more into the specifics. So these programs are primarily going to be added as part of the subscription. We don't want to charge extra that because we are giving you, suppose, how do you control diabetes, or for that matter, back pain or knee pain. So we're not going to charge anything extra or above that, but these are some problems that users face and they don't come up on the regular practice because ghutne mein dard ho. So how do we cater to them? How do we ensure that they have a 30-day program where they strengthen the knee and then come back? This will solve most of the problem, but this will not solve for the critical cases. The another angle to this is like we have discovered a lot in terms of how do you make exercises simple. We would want more and more trainers to understand the mechanism, and if they want to build it themselves, we would be happy to share on how we have done. And I think it's pretty straightforward. It's simple. Even if you do our 21-day challenge, you can figure out that it's not very difficult. It just needs persistence and hard work in terms of getting it right, the pieces.